Hey guys, I'm here with a DVD review. So I was at Walmart last week and I came across the Blu-ray edition of Cobra, Stallone movie that came out in 1986. And I did have it on regular DVD. I got this a couple years ago. Um, the quality, like the picture quality, is not really that great. I mean, this probably came out like I'm assuming like when it was yeah, like '98 when it was first put on or transferred onto DVD. Even look, if you look at it, look how the DVD doesn't even have any pictures or anything on it. This is a very like really old disc. So I just like always wanted to like maybe upgrade. There's certain movies that I have in my collection that I like to upgrade to Blu-ray. So I found this at Walmart, and this is Shot Factory. I don't know if you're familiar. They sell DVDs, but they come out with a couple of, like a lot of like action films, and they do like a lot of like special features, which is and I was really like looking forward to like checking this one out, and I was really surprised that I found this at Walmart. That's the cover. The standard cover, hasn't changed. Here we got the back cover. Right here, you see the pictures from the movie, mainly of Stallone. And then look at that, the paragraph here of special features. Definitely more special features than compared to this. A lot of special features. So let me just open it up so you see this is the like the DVDs right there. Nothing really fancy inside. Take the DVD out, and you'll see there's like another picture of Stallone. So a little history about this film. Again, it came out in 1986. Originally, like Stallone was cast in Beverly Hills Cop, and he took the script and he rewrote it, and he made it like he took away some of the comedy and added more action, made it more of like a serious action film that he was more accustomed to. And they brought it to the studio, and then the studio was like, they can't do it because like the budget would be insane. So they went their separate ways. Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, they casted Eddie Murphy, and the rest is history there. Stallone decided to make another movie, and the movie that he decided to make was Cobra. So again, '86. Stallone's coming off a really successful 1985. He had Rambo, First Blood Part 2 came out in May of 1985, and that was like that made a lot of money. And then November of '85, Rocky 4, which was like I think that's the highest grossing Rocky film in the franchise. So he was really successful, and it was like, what were we going to follow up '86 with? And so we got this film right here, Cobra, and again, I think it was his attempt to maybe start another franchise, and I know that it was kind of like, I think that because it didn't really do well in the box office, we never had a Cobra 2. Stallone has said recently in interviews that he really felt they dropped the ball on this one, and he was maybe going through some issues of his own. I've also read that they might be doing a reboot of the series. It's either going to be a movie or a TV show, and Robert Rodriguez is the main guy on it, and he's developing it. So I don't know. I don't think Stallone's going to be in it, but who knows? So back to this one. So just a quick review of this film. Stallone plays like a cop. He's part of like the zombie squad here, where he takes up jobs that a lot of people don't want to do. He's like, the tough cop. That's no one wants to listen, but he's pretty much always right. And what's going on is that there's like a bunch of like there's like a gang or something that's like killing people, and Bridget Nelson, who at the time was Stallone's wife, she plays the leading actress, and she like witnesses, like, I guess can identify the main bad guy, and so they're coming after her. So Stallone's character needs to protect her, and that's it. So let's go through the special features. Now, if you're looking for like an interview with Stallone or him talking about, there's nothing. He's not in the special features at all. They don't interview him. They usually, but they do. But through the interviews, you get like they talk about him. So what do we get here? So we get an interview with it's called Stalking and Slashing, an interview with actor Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson is the one that played the main bad guy in this film. I forgot what he was called. He was just a serial killer in here. I didn't know that he's been doing other, he has other roles and stuff. I always thought that this was like a one shot for him, and that was the only movie he made. But he's been, I looked him up on IMDb. He's done like a lot of films. We also get an interview with Marco Rodriguez. It's called Meet the Disease. He's the guy that's in the beginning of the film in the grocery store, the guy with the gun is taking the people hostage. Feel the Heat, an interview with actor Andy Robinson. He played one of the cops in there. And I don't know if you're familiar. He played the bad guy. He played Scorpio in Dirty Harry. And he's been in I think he was in an episode of Incredible Hulk. He played a corrupt doctor, and I think they're the first season or so. So he's been in a lot of things. And then we also get an interview with Lee Garlington. She was the corrupt cop in the movie, the girl that that was kind of obvious, and we knew that she was bad. And then we also get an interview with Art LaFleur. He was the captain of the police department. He's the one that goes to Stallone's Cobra and says, "Do what you do best." So he talks about the film. So basically, everybody when they're talking about the film and they're talking about Stallone, they all say that Stallone was a nice guy, and they all mention his bodyguards. I guess he apparently had 3 bodyguards on the film, and that would walk, protect him or something. I don't know. Just he was always around these 3 bodyguards. Brian Thompson was really good in his interview. He really talks about the film, the making of the film. No one really has anything nice to say about the director, though. George P. Cosmatos. He directed this film, and he also directed Rambo Part 2. It's funny, Brian Thompson saying, I wish there was something nice I could say about this guy, but I just can't think of anything. He just said that basically, Stallone pretty much directed the film. It was all Stallone. He would do a scene with Stallone. Stallone would tell the cameraman, "This is what I want. I want a tight shot on him. You got to pan back and all that." And George Cosmatos was just just doing whatever. We just listen to whatever Stallone said. So basically, Brian Thompson said that Stallone pretty much directed the entire film, and that when Stallone wasn't on set and Cosmatos was directing, he would always yell and scream at people, and he was just very he didn't enjoy working with him. Lee Garlington, that played the female, she was the one that played I mentioned, she was the cop that was actually she was actually part of the gang, and she was one of the bad girls. She said that she never really talked to Stallone in why they were filming. She mentioned that how when they were in makeup, he would always talk to the guys. He never really had a one-on-one with her, and but he was always nice. He wasn't really but he didn't go out of his way to talk to her. And it wasn't until I guess they were the last day of shooting or something. I guess they had to do reshots. And she was break time, and she was eating she was at a table eating, and Stallone came down and sat next to her and was eating with her and was talking to her, and she thought that was pretty cool. Andy Robertson's interview, he didn't really like the film at all. He said he didn't like. He says one of the problems with the film is that they cut out a lot in order to make it short. And then the reason why they did that, and the reason why they do that in action films, is because so they can get more airings in theaters. And I read where this came out when Top Gun came out, and I think their strategy was to make the film shorter so that they can have more airings in theaters than Top Gun, so to make a little bit more money. So if you think about it, today, let's say, for example, Avengers Endgame was all close to 3 hours. So there's not many showings you have of that movie. But let's say if you have a short film like Cobra, which was like 85 minutes, or how long this movie was, like 87 minutes. It was really short. You could have more showings of it, and hopefully we'll get more money. He Robertson was like talking about how he wasn't really a big fan of the film, and he also mentioned something about, which I read somewhere once, that the original ending of the film, he was supposed to be revealed as the main bad guy working with these people, and Stallone was supposed to rip off his shirt and it was going to be revealing like a tattoo, and that's because throughout the film, like, it seems that like Andy Robertson's character and Stallone's character, they don't get along, and you're just waiting for them to the fists to fly, and and it always like suggested in my mind, I'm like thinking, man, I wonder if he was supposed to turn to be the bad guy at the end. But Andy Robertson mentions like they were going to do it, but like I guess there was a change, and he was actually happy because he didn't want to be in makeup for like 2 hours for them to apply the tattoo on his chest. So he was happy about it, and he said, "Let's see, and nothing negative to say about Stallone. No one really said anything negative about him. Again, they all mentioned that his three bodyguards. So it's pretty good. I mean." You also get a just like with this, you get some of the special features from this one too. So you're gonna get the commentating track from George P. Cosmatos, the director, and he has a very thick Italian accent. I remember watching it from this DVD when I got it, and it's very kind of hard to understand him. I know I really wish that I really wish they had Stallone doing like commentating, or even had an interview with him. That's the only thing I would say like that would have made this DVD a little bit better if they were able to contact him and have him talk about it. That would have been really cool, because he was the lead, and he was the writer. So that's pretty much it. Of course you're gonna get like the teaser trailers and that theatrical trailer. But definitely, if you want to learn, if this is like one of your favorite films, or if you like this film, or if you collect Stallone movies, I definitely recommend buying this, like ordering this if you can't find it at Walmart. And if you like this film, just listening to these interviews and having them talk behind the scenes, it's always interesting. And that's it. Thanks for watching.